Hey, this is unit number 2, video 11. We're going to deal with molecular compounds or type 3 molecules. So in type 3 molecules, we're going to kind of get away from the nomenclature we did with type 1 and type 2. Because what we're dealing with in type 3 is not really looking at charges anymore. Actually, we're not looking at charges at all anymore. We're going to deal with two nonmetals together. So if we have two nonmetals, the way we're going to use that is instead of looking at charges, which end up telling us how many of each molecule or atom we have, we're going to use prefixes to tell us how many of each atom we have. So the prefixes we're going to use for that are going to be mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, nona, and deca. Okay, and these are what we're going to use for nonmetals. So if we head over to the periodic table, I'm going to show you kind of where the nonmetals are found. So there's a staircase on the periodic table that's going to separate metals from nonmetals. It's going to start right in between the boron and the aluminum. We're going to go down here in between the silicon and germanium, and we're going to keep going down. Polonium is going to be a metal, tellurium is a nonmetal, and we keep going down. So that's kind of the staircase. We call it a staircase as we go down, separating the metals from the nonmetals. So everything to the right of that staircase is going to be considered a nonmetal. So the one rule for naming the molecular compounds are they're going to be covalent compounds. So what that means is they're sharing electrons. So we're not going to use charges for that. So when we name a compound and the first element is only one, we're never going to use mono. We only use mono for the second element. For example, if we have CO2, okay, we're just going to state the first element like we did for type 1 and type 2. So this is just carbon. But now since we're not looking at charges, you have to tell me how many of each atom you have. So, or each element. So here, this oxygen, I've got two oxygens. So you have to say this is carbon dioxide. So the ending is still going to be IE. We're not changing that at all. Okay, now let's look at, maybe if we just did CO. Okay, we're still not going to use mono because the first one is still one and we don't use it for the first element. So this is still going to be carbon. But now I've only got one oxygen. So we're going to say this is carbon monoxide. Which are two very common compounds that we see a lot of. So this is just showing you kind of the rules for nomenclature for type 3, that we're not looking at charges, so you're going to have to tell me how many of the atoms you have. Now the one rule is the first element, you never use mono.